I know we did not name everybody that is with us today, but everybody standing behind us today is a subset of the group that committed themselves over the past month to ridding our streets of some of the most dangerous and worst of the worst people that we have here in West Virginia, with one particular goal in mind: to protect the most vulnerable people here in West Virginia, and in particular, our children. You know, earlier this morning, I had the opportunity to address the Handle with Care conference in the Coliseum. I still call it the Civic Center over here in Charleston. And what we had there this morning was a group of West Virginians that started a movement that spread and led to Handle with Care operations all across the United States. In over 40 states now, we have Handle with Care operations. And what Handle with Care does, it simply tells our teachers and our educators and our school systems when a child has experienced trauma in their lives. And many of the folks that are standing with us today, particularly the law enforcement, have a hand in carrying out our Handle with Care. And it started right here in West Virginia. And so today we get to talk about how West Virginia is leading the way in protecting our children and leading the way in protecting the most vulnerable among us. And I can't think of anything more important to focus on if we look at the future and want to grow a West Virginia the way that I know each one of us want to, than to protect the very future to ensure that our children can thrive. So Operation Spring Sweep just concluded. And Deputy Marshal Mark Wagaman, who pours all of himself into everything that he does, is, for those of you that know him, has led the way in this particularly important operation to ensure that sex offenders, those who are wanted for crimes of sexual violence, and those violent criminals that are outstanding in our community are brought to justice so that we can make our community safer, so that, again, we can thrive here in West Virginia without the worry of those predators standing on our corner. I can't tell you the tireless work that we learn about each day in the United States Attorney's Office, of the wonderful work that our law enforcement does. And none of this runs, and our future isn't possible without them. And it's not possible without our county prosecutors, who are willing to work hand in hand every single day to make sure that those who want to do harm to our most vulnerable are brought to justice, whether it is in the building across the street, in Cabell County, or in Putnam County, in Raleigh County, anywhere in the Southern District, or quite frankly, anywhere in the state of West Virginia, to make sure that justice is done. And I can tell you, when I came into this office, they say, well, what are your priorities? What do you want to do here in this office? You know, you do these sort of bread and butter things, but what can you expand on and what can you excel at? Well, I can tell you that the number I had was to ensure that we have a safe community for our children to grow up in. And as a father of 3 young children, there's nothing more important to me. So again, I want to commend the work of Operation Spring Sweep, but we almost use that as an opportunity to come here and tell that to our communities. But it is work that the United States Marshal do every single day, and that our Sheriff's Office do every single day, and our local police departments do every single day. But we sprint and we do these operations to shine a light on the work that we do. This is a story about collaboration. Lots of times in law enforcement, as I've learned when I walked in this building, there are a lot of silos up. There's a lot of territorial and turf wars. But I said, let's all spike the football together. Let's all work together. Let's tear down the silos. Let's paint over the lanes. There's no more staying in your lane. There is one simple underlying question. How do we make West Virginia safer? And how do we do better for the people that we represent? And that's what we're talking about today. And I'm so incredibly proud to be standing here before you. I'm proud of the work that our office has done, but none of it, again, is possible without our law enforcement. So with that being said, I would like to recognize Deputy Marshal Mark Wagaman, or as we call him, Wags, to give you a little more details on the operation that we're discussing today. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Mark Wagaman with the Southern District of West Virginia Cuff Task Force. Over the past month, our task force, working alongside the West Virginia State Police and our task force partners with the support of the United States Attorney's Office and local county prosecutors, conducted Operation Spring Sweep. This operation was a focused enforcement effort targeting noncompliant sex offenders and fugitive sex offenders and individuals wanted for sex crimes and violent fugitives across the Southern District of West Virginia. This operation ultimately resulted in 72 felony arrests, including 19 sex offenders who had failed to register and 12 individuals who were actively evading apprehension and were wanted for sex crimes in the Southern District of West Virginia. We also recovered illegal firearms, significant amounts of narcotics, and recovered and located 2 missing children. The seizures are as follows: 8 firearms, approximately 50 pounds of marijuana, 450 THC vape pens, 488.29 grams of fentanyl, 114.36 grams of methamphetamine, 43 assorted prescription pills, and approximately $36,000 in U.S. currency used in illicit drug funds. During that time, the West Virginia State Police conducted 222 sex offender compliance checks, and out of those 222, 18 sex offenders were found non-compliant and 18 arrest warrants were issued. Because of the West Virginia State Police's efforts during their compliance operations, the United States Marshals Service also initiated 7 criminal investigations into violations of SORNA against individuals. This operation was ultimately about protecting our community, the state of West Virginia, and holding violent fugitives accountable. These types of operations are only successful when federal, state, and local partners partner up and work together. The cooperation of these operations make West Virginia safer, and as these predators and violent offenders are removed from our communities, it makes it safer. This is what a coordinated law enforcement operation looks like, and it sends a clear message. If you're a fugitive or a non-compliant sex offender, we are coming for you. And if you are a sex offender in West Virginia and you don't like the way that we do business, find a new place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Marshal. I'd like to recognize my friend and my county prosecutor to say a few words. She does tireless work here in Kanawha County. They are busy and running gun all the time. And so let me, with no further ado, introduce to you Kanawha County Prosecuting Attorney Deborah Resnick. Deb?
I am so proud to stand among these people behind me today. You know, when community leaders and our law enforcement partners come together, we get results. We get a safer West Virginia. We get drugs off the streets. We get bad guys behind bars. And we have done a job that has absolutely protected the most vulnerable and probably the most important people in our state. They are the future of our state. And to be able to stand up here among people who share a common goal, that goal being to ensure that our children are protected and that they have a safe future ahead of them. I cannot commend these efforts enough. I am so grateful to be a part of a team who has this goal and ends up here where we are here today with a better, safer West Virginia.
Thank you, Deb. Well said. Are there any other prosecutors or law enforcement that would like to speak? I mean, I'm talking about spiking the football together. Does anybody want to talk here? Okay. Once, twice. All right, well, we'll wrap it up. But I think as you can see, and as from what you've heard, we are all in this together. We're all in this together for West Virginia. You're looking at a bunch of committed West Virginians right here, commitment to the future. And let me point out again today that we are talking about a statistic and an operation and a commitment where West Virginia is leading the way in the country. Deputy Marshal Wagaman spoke about our SORNA cases. We lead the nation in states that are around us in bringing sex offenders into compliance with registration. As I spoke about handle with care this morning, we lead the nation. In West Virginia, we don't ever want to think of ourselves as followers. We're leaders. And that's what we'll do in this office. That's what our law enforcement partners will do every single day. And that's what the people of West Virginia can expect to see from all of us going forward. Thank you very much. Any questions? Questions? Me, for anybody else? Yeah, we covered it all, huh? Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Thanks. Good job, buddy. No questions. I like it. Yeah, I like that too.